Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Desert. Half of September is almost over. Can you believe it? Well, I just want you to know that you have an amazing service today. Our guest artist this morning, I discovered her, I don't know how many years ago it was. I was invited to speak at the Temecula Center, and she was singing. It's Denise Rosier, and I thought she was like our band, our fabulous band that we have. I thought she was part of the band, and I thought, oh, too bad, because it'd be so great to have her sing at our center. And I went up and told her what a great job she did, and said, oh, I wish you sang other places. And she said, oh no, that's what I do. And I was so excited, so I told Jerry Lynn right away, and I think within a couple of weeks she was here. So just open your hearts up to receive this great artist, Denise Rosier.
CSL Palm Desert, this is Denise Rosier, and I am super excited to be back with you again this Sunday morning. It's been a while, and I have missed you. So let's open up this Sunday morning with a song that is a reminder that you are made up of every blessing from above and below. You are all that's good.
I've heard it said that we're small and alone on our path, but my mind is set on a life greater than that, and my heart is open wide. My heart will be open wide. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that, I am that. All the joy and love that a life can hold. I am that, I am that. All that's good, all that's good. Some say the answers I seek are found on my knees, but I listen inside to the whisper, I'm all that I need. And my heart is open wide. My heart will be open wide. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that, I am that. All the joy and love that a life can hold. I am that, I am that. All that's good. All is for me. Oh, I am worthy, I am worthy. Oh, all is for me. Oh, I am worthy, I am worthy. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that, I am that. All the joy and love that a life can hold. I am that, I am that. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that, I am that. All that's good, all that's good.
What's happening this week at the Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert? On Monday, Reverend Charles will be joined by Bishop Edward Donaldson. currently the senior pastor of Kingdom Family Worship Center International. He is the president and founder of Logos Life Network and Leadership Group. Make sure to attend and find out his key to activate the laws of abundance. That's Monday at 10 a.m. Then on Tuesday, one of the most engaging conversation around what's happening right now with Reverend Charles and Jeff Seeley as they continue their conversation and book study on how to be an anti-racist. Wednesday, this amazing group known as the Sensational Six, our 6 new staff ministers always have a topic to discuss and dissect that will make a difference in your spiritual journey. Make sure to join them on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Thursday, Reverend Charles invites Linda Watson on the program. Linda Watson is a CSL practitioner emeritus. She has been impacting lives through her love and passion for spirituality and yoga for over 3 decades. You'll want to bring something to take notes. That's Thursday at 10 a.m. Then on Friday, he's back, Reverend Charles, with Life on Love. Imagine if every decision you made, every action you took, went through a filter, a love filter. How would it affect your day, your health? Find out and be part of the conversation Friday at 10 a.m. with Reverend Charles. Saturday, before you head out, enjoy a guided meditation by one of our amazing staff ministers. And Sunday, the virtual prayer room is available beginning at 11 a.m. So just like the 1-minute miracles in the Om Room, our ministerial staff will be there virtually to support you. Remember, the virtual prayer rooms are open from 11 to 11:30. They're virtual and they're private. So mark your calendars and invite a friend to be with us at 10 a.m. daily and keep your spirituality muscles exercised.
Please join me in our mission statement. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives, one heart at a time. So I would like for you to just take a deep breath and find that space within you, that quiet, knowing space that is within all of us. And just allow your heart to open and to commune with this beautiful divine energy that surrounds you. And allow yourself to go to that space of perfect contentment and peace and joy and serenity. Open your heart up to the abundant love of the universe.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done and everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, and everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to this present moment, here to this new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
And I know in this moment, I recognize that I am a creation of the divine energy, of this universal intelligence that permeates the entire universe. That I am a point of light, an expression of God, here to have all the aspects and all of the beauty and the joy and the abundance that is God. And I know that I am on the path to my enlightenment. I know that I am alive and awake and aware of the beauty and the joy that is God. And I am so full of abundance and peace on this journey. And I know that I am always within the loving power that is God. That Spirit is permeating my life with all the things that I need to have a perfect life. And I am so grateful for all the good and all the joy that is mine to experience in this moment, that I am God expressing in this moment, that I am part of this beautiful universal power. And so I now release my word with so much gratitude, knowing that God is in the solution, that every aspect of my life is in this beautiful, perfect spiritual pool of love. And so, join me now in saying, and so it is. Amen.
Show me the way. Show me the way. Your love will light my way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your joy will light my way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your peace will light my way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your truth will light my way. And your love will light my way. And your joy will light my way. And your peace
the space between us. Feel that love right now. God speaks out in the words between us. Hear those words right now. I am holy. You are holy. There is beauty between us. Spirit shines in the light between us. See that light right now. Peace is born in the good between us. Be that peace right now. I am holy. You are holy. There is beauty between us. Between us. Faith is the bond that we share between us. Hold that faith right now. Truth is the life in the breath between us. Live that truth right now. We are holy. We are holy. We are holy. We are holy. Let's sing it together and affirm it. We are holy. 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 Love is alive in the space between us. 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 Love is alive between us. Bye, Palm Desert. It was great to be with you. Have a wonderful week.
Wasn't Denise fabulous? I just love her. It was great having her with us this Sunday. So now is your great opportunity to shine and to be magnificent. So what we know is it's your opportunity to plant that seed of abundance by giving to the center, knowing that what you give out comes back to you. So you want to plant that seed right now and watch it grow. Plant that one apple seed, that money, and watch it come to fruition, multiplied. And so go ahead, all your opportunities to contribute to this center and to yourself, to your magnificence, to your abundance. Show the universe just how abundant you are and how much you're ready to receive. And there are so many ways right there on our webpage. Thank you for all you do and for all you give. And so now let's bless that, knowing right here and right now in this moment. Feel that gratitude, feel that joy, feel that abundance as you give into the universe. You are giving to yourself. You are giving to yourself, saying, look at universe, thank you for all that I have. And thank you for being a part of Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert. And now, get ready for, I got a little sneak peek already of what he's going to be speaking about. So sit back and enjoy and take in this great talk by Reverend Charles.
When Jeff claps, that means start talking. Hey, we're in the middle of September now. How's that happen? How's that possible? I mean, it's been a strange year, hasn't it? Strange, but also, I was watching, by now you all know I love sports. And so one of the things that's most entertaining for me is watching basketball commentary by Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith, and Charles Barkley on TNT. And Shaquille O'Neal was saying, I wish 2020 would just be over with. I wish it would be gone. And it's been so painful. And Kenny Smith said, Shaq, I hear you, but I disagree. 2020 has defined us in a new and different way. 2020 has, he said, here's exactly what he said. He said, you know what? Before we used to get off the phone, Shaq, you would just say bye. Now, whenever we get off the phone, you say, I love you, bro. 2020 is drawing something out of each one of us. And my prayer that it's a greater love. And that feeds into my talk for today, which is love your neighbor, which I think is important right now. Right? Love your neighbor. We're going to get into it. Here we go. Ernest Holmes says this, what the world needs, and this is from the Science of Mind, what the world needs is spiritual conviction, followed by spiritual experience. I would rather see a student of this science, which is an important word, science, which means it's provable, which means it's demonstrable. I would rather see a student of this science prove its principle than to have him repeat all the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered. One more time. I would rather see a student of this science of mind. Back to the roots, religious science, the science of religion, something that we can prove. Not just religious conjecture, not what's been called religiosity, but something we can prove in the laboratory of our own lives. Prove its principle than to have him repeat all the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered. Are you ready to prove it? To hold one's thoughts steadfastly to the constructive, to that which endures, and to the truth may not be easy in a rapidly changing world, and are we living in that? But to one who makes the attempt, much is guaranteed. Last week I talked about expectancy, and what are you expecting out of your life? To hold one's thoughts steadfastly to the constructive, to that which endures. What endures? The only thing that endures is principle. Everything else is transient. Everything else is but a moment. Principle endures. I'm going to talk about a few of these principles today, 3 of them as a matter of fact. And I pray that you come along for the ride with me and actually embody some of the things I want to share with you and metabolize them in the same way that a meal is metabolized by the body. The nutrients of your meal go to where they need to in the body to sustain us, to help us to continue along the way as a vital and viable human being in the body temple. It's the same thing that happens with spiritual nutrients. The things that you read, the things that you worship, the things that you appreciate, the things that you study, what you're putting your attention on, somehow your emotional, physical, spiritual, mental bodies metabolize those things, and they go to the places that are either needed or unneeded. The nutrients go to the place where they're needed. Waste goes to the place where waste goes to. Truth may not be easy in a rapidly changing world, but to one who makes the attempt, much is guaranteed. Let's talk right now about what we're attempting to practice. What are we practicing? The first principle, love. Love is the self-givingness of the Spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation, of creating something. Love is free from condemnation, even as it is free from fear. Love is a cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible. Love is the self-givingness of the Spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. Now look, this has to do with you and with me. What is the desire of your heart? Now we're talking about loving your neighbor. I want us to remember the context within which we're operating. We're talking about loving our neighbor. Love is the self-givingness of the Spirit to express itself in terms of creation. Love is free of condemnation, even as it is free from fear. I want you to entertain this as a principle, as a divine idea that can help us navigate the waters that we're boating in during this time. How often do I condemn my neighbor? How often do I condemn something that I don't understand simply because I don't understand it, and have I taken the time to understand it? Likely, if I'm condemning it, more often than not, I haven't taken the time to understand it. And if I've taken the time to understand it and still condemn it, then God bless me. Then God bless you. At least we've taken the time to understand, and understanding is love. Understanding, love is taking the time to attempt to understand. How often do we attempt to understand someone that doesn't look like us? Look like me, doesn't smell like me, doesn't act like me? How often do I take the time to do that? And it is free from fear. Love is free from fear. This is from the Science of Mind. This is from Dr. Ernest Holmes. Love is free from fear as well. Fear has so much to do with a lack of understanding. I haven't taken time to attempt to understand what I'm afraid of. What I have found in the laboratory of my life, when we talk about a science and proving something, the science for me that I've come up with is that if I attempt to understand something, the fear factor way down. The fear factor's way down. I don't understand, fear factor way up. And then I make all sorts of assumptions and assertions about what I don't understand. Love asks us to understand. It doesn't mean you agree, it just means you understand. And then you can still condemn or praise, but love says, understand. Love is a cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible. Now that is a sweep you want to get caught up in. An irresistible force of goodness. What's the second thing we're being called to understand? The second thing we're being called to practice. Forgiveness. Now I talked about this at the end of February, and I think it went over pretty well, the whole idea of F you. Dr. Joe was gone at that point, so I thought, maybe I'm going to get in trouble. But he texted me right after the service and said, that was brilliant. The idea of F you, forgive you. The F word, forgiveness. The desire to free ourselves from indulgence in a mistake. Therefore, the effect of the mistake is wiped out just as light disappears darkness. There has never been an occurrence for which we have to suffer. Suffering's an entirely different thing. All forgiveness is self-forgiveness. Love thy neighbor. Again, this is the context. Love thy neighbor. If we're not forgiving ourselves, we can't love our neighbor. It's not about forgiving your neighbor, it's first about forgiving ourselves. How many times in my life have I done something stupid? Many. I am a minister standing right in front of you today. I've done stupid stuff over and over and over again. Even recently. Dumb stuff, lapse of judgment, whatever it might be. But am I supposed to suffer because of that? Or once again, wake up? If I've said something I really didn't mean to say, but I said it, and then I reflect on it. Do I want the effect of that mistake to haunt me? What I know is I don't want the effect of your mistakes to haunt you. I don't want you to suffer. And as human beings, we make these things called mistakes. We miss the mark. We miss the target. It happens. And it's going to keep happening. Why? Because we're human beings. Because it's part of the path. It's part of our refinement process. But suffering is an entirely different thing. And suffering has to do with not letting ourselves off the hook when we make a mistake. So if we want to love our neighbor, what do we first have to do? Anyone. I know you're thinking it. Love ourselves. It's the first thing we have to do. Love ourselves. And when we've reconciled the self, we can love our neighbor. And that's right now what we're called to do. I've said racist things in the past. Thank God I didn't live in the cancel culture. I mean, I wake up sometimes as a minister right here scared to death to open my mouth to say the wrong thing and be canceled. Reverend Charles, you're fired. That doesn't work for us. Is that the environment that we want to live in? We make mistakes. Forgiveness is messy. Life is messy, but we're called to lift ourselves up. We're called to become more. And that's an allowance that happens. Again, I go back to a sports idea. It's called coaching. When someone on the field, when someone on the court makes a mistake, the coach calls them over and said, "Hey, you made a mistake." They don't kick them off the team. They say, "Do better next time. Make a difference next time. Do something different next time that benefits your team." Forgiveness is so important. What's the third thing we're called to practice? Neighborliness. And I'm making this a principle starting today. The idea of neighborliness. Now check this out. Here's what I've come up with. Neighborliness is a disposition to be friendly and helpful to neighbors. It's a disposition to become neighborly and helpful to neighbors. The principle of neighborliness obligates people to reconcile their interests with the interests of neighboring people. Just going to let you meditate on that for a minute. I'm just going to go over here for a second. I'll be right back on camera. Think about that. The principle of neighborliness obligates people to reconcile their interests with the interests of neighboring people. Now that's a tough one. Because we're called to move from 100% selfishness to the idea of consideration. That you consider another person. The principle of neighborliness obligates. That's a hard word for us too, but we live on a planet filled with people. Filled with people. And because we do, and because we've chosen to be here, we have an obligation to each other. And it's an important obligation. It's a spiritual obligation. It's a contract that we're obligated somehow to each other, to consider each other's needs. And when I make a choice, my choice considers somebody else's needs as well. Are we doing that right now as a community? We'll let that question float there for a little bit. Are we doing that as a community? The principle of neighborliness obligates people to reconcile their interests with the interest of neighboring people. Now, I'm going to share these ideas in a different light as well from some of the other ancient wisdom teachings that we know. So this particular quote was unearthed from the Gospel of Thomas, from the Nag Hammadi scrolls in 1945, which widely is understood as teachings that were most closely associated with the teachings of the real Jesus. If you are searching, you must not stop until you find. When you find, however, you will become troubled. Now, this is a reference to the spiritual scripture, seek and you will find. And it stops there. This takes it to a whole other level. If you are searching, you must not stop until you find. When you find, however, you will become troubled. Your confusion will give way to wonder. In wonder, you will reign over all things. Your sovereignty will be your rest. When you seek a new way of being, if you haven't been loving your neighbor, and it's time, you feel the urge on your heart to love your neighbor, you might find yourself in uncomfortable situations. Finding yourself interacting with somebody that doesn't look like you because you're charged and called by your heart to do so. Finding myself, pushing the levels of my comfort zone, becoming uncomfortable, and in that we grow. I will always remember when I decided to, after I graduated the School of Ministry, and I wasn't ready to be a minister yet, I just knew it in my heart. My intuition is like, I was 25 years old. Young, right? Puppy dog in terms of ministry. I said, you know what? I gotta go experience the planet, people. Put a backpack on my back, went for 3 months, Scotland, Africa, Turkey, Bulgaria, Hungary, Czech Republic, Poland, all sorts of different places, to put myself in a position to see what I was made of. As a man of God, what was I made of when I put myself in a position where I was uncomfortable, confused, bewildered, purposely troubled my waters? Why? To become a sovereign individual, to see who I am. And what I'm telling you, my beautiful community, is that the relationships I made, the people that I met, the experiences that I had, over the top, out of this world. Way more than 50% of the time I was uncomfortable. I remember getting into Poland, Krakow, Poland, one morning. It was 6 a.m. I took an overnight train. Snow coming down, snow everywhere. I didn't know where my hostel was. I didn't know where I was going. I walked in that snow 2 miles the wrong direction. And I stopped for a moment and I said, God, I need some help. I need some direction. My instructions were clear. You got to turn around, walk back to the center of town, and then go out the other way. Now it's cold. Thank goodness it was simple. I brought two outfits with me, and my scarf and my hat and my coat, and that's all I had. Uncomfortable. But I intentionally put myself in that position exactly for that moment. Exactly for that moment. when I was lost, bewildered, and confused, I stopped and asked for guidance. And the Spirit, the presence within me said, turn around, go back to the center of town and go out the other way. And I found my hostel. And I remember that trip specifically. I met some of the best friends that I had on that trip. Your sovereignty will be your rest only once we decide that we're willing to put it all on the line, to change and to grow and become more. The path of awakening will trouble your waters, but always remember this: you are awakening. You're awakening. The path to awakening will trouble you. It's meant to do that because we don't want to be the same person today as we will be tomorrow. We want to be more. We want to be somehow more expressed, more beautiful, more radiant, more ourselves. Even when the waters are troubled, just remember, you are awakening. And that's the gift. Now, I want to share with you a little bit about how these principles and practices are supported and encouraged by great philosophers and visionaries of all time. Love. Remember we talked about love a little bit ago? From Hinduism in the Bhagavad Gita. Only by the unwavering love of the human heart can my supreme state be seen and known and attained. Also within love, Taoism and the Tao Te Ching. As the gates of heaven open and close, can you remain steady as a mother bird who sits on her nest? Just that statement, isn't that wonderful love? As the gates of heaven open and close, can you be as steady as a mother bird sitting on the gate, steady as a mother bird who sits on her nest? As your wisdom reaches the four corners of the world, can you keep the innocence of a beginner? How did the great prophet Jesus say that? Become as a child. That's right. Know this mysterious power. It guides without forcing. That's love. It guides without forcing. It serves without seeking reward. It brings forth and sustains life, yet does not own or possess it. Forgiveness. Sufism and Rumi. Rumi. The lover is ever drunk with love. She is free, she is mad. She dances with ecstasy and delight. Caught by our own thoughts, we worry about every little thing. But once we get drunk on that love, whatever will be, will be. Neighborliness. Stoicism and Marcus Aurelius. You must be firm in both. Steadfast in judgment and action, kind to those who do you harm. To lose your temper with them is no less a sign of weakness than one cowed into abandoning his proper course of action. One more time. You must be firm in both, steadfast in judgment and action, kind to those who do you harm. This could also be used in forgiveness. To lose your temper with them is no less a sign of weakness than one cowed into abandoning his proper course of action. Sports and Vince Lombardi. Neighborliness. Individual commitment to a group effort. That is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, a civilization work. Individual commitment to a group effort. What are we called to do today? love powerfully, forgive often, be neighborly. Why? To fulfill Dr. Ernest Holmes' promise, the emancipation from all discord of every nature, and this goal is sure to be attained by all. Much peace, much love. Make it the best day ever.
Did I not tell you that was going to be a great talk? I thought when Reverend Charles started talking, when he mentioned Shaq, he was talking about me, because that's my nickname. All my friends say, "Hey Shaq, how are you?" So anyway, it was a great talk, Reverend Charles, and so inspiring. So let us do our closing prayer as we always do. It's my honor, my privilege to do this today. So let's just take a deep breath in. And from that oneness, from that recognition of that power and that presence, the totality of everything, it is life itself expressing perfectly. And each one of us is this unique and divine expression. And we recognize that uniqueness in each person that we come into contact with. We know that that love starts with us. And so we take that responsibility, knowing that what we put out in the universe is what we see, what comes back to us. So we take that extra step. In those moments of conflict, we recognize what is within myself, and we know that it's only love, and that is what we focus on. And so as we focus on this love, we see the abundance, we see the health, we see the prosperity and joy and love and peace. Peace is at the heart of everything. And so I am so grateful for this fabulous message that Reverend Charles gave today to remind us of the truth. I am so grateful for this center and for all the people that work behind the scenes to bring us all these great programs all during the week. And I am so grateful for each person who took that call, who listened to Spirit to open their hearts and minds to create this world that works for everyone. And so I know that this divine universe, this divine world, our lives are unfolding, and I relax perfectly in that calmness, knowing that it's all good because it's all God. So I let go, I release my word as the law, knowing that this is the truth for myself, knowing this is the truth for each of us, that all is good, all is God. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Have an amazing, wonderful week, everyone. We'll see you next week.